Hello Internet, I am the Hero of Julios once again with another Digimon card pack unboxing. This time we have the BT13 pack versus Royal Knights. I managed to get into the pre-release and get myself a pre-release pack to go with it. This features a lot of, you guessed it, Royal Knights, as well as a lot of stuff from the 5th season of Digimon. I'm personally hoping for a Rosemon Burst mode for my brother's deck, but without further ado, let's get into the actual pack opening itself. Starting off, of course, we have our pre-release cards. We got this Doraemon, a egg with the inherited. When attacking, if this Digimon has 4 or more Digivolution cards, draw 1. But ooh, we got Royal Knights of the Purge. Very nice. So this option card is 6 cost to play. Its main effect, draws 1. And then we can place a Digimon card from our hand as the bottom Digivolution card of one of our King Drazil 7D6 in the breeding area. Then place this card in the battle area. And then to follow up has a delay effect. We can play a Royal Knight trait card from the Digivolution cards of our Digimon in the breeding area without paying the cost. On-play effects of the Digimon played don't activate, but they do gain rush for the turn, so it's a great way to swing at your opponent with a really big body. The deck of Royal Knights is very interesting to me because it's going to be very powerful with, just a lot of high-cost, high-powered Digimon. But not a lot of digivolving going on, so your draw power is a little on the lower side. That's why cards like the Royal Knights of the Purge is very helpful. So we get 2 box toppers this time. The first box topper is a alt art pack containing one of 6 cards found in the booster pack. I'm going to keep this for my Schrodinger collection. The other one, on the other hand, I'm very happy is a clear pack, so I don't need to Schrodinger it, but it is the War Greymon Ace from the upcoming Starter Deck 15. He is a 6 cost to play, 3 to Digivolve, 11,000 power, level 6 Digimon. A level 6 Digimon for 6 cost. So he's very powerful to begin with. Not to mention the new mechanic that's added to the game, Blast Digivolve. This is a hand counter effect that happens before your blocker phase. He also happens to have blocker. So he's able to Digivolve without paying the cost on top of a Digimon when your opponent's Digimon attacks. So you can, throw this guy down and you'll have a blocker instantly. During all turns, when a card is removed from a security stack, we can unsuspend this Digimon. So even if, you block the first hit, they get through, you can block the third hit by using this Digimon again. Or you can attack twice when hitting your opponent's life. However, because this is an Ace Digimon, as you can see down here, he has the Overflow -4 ability. When this card would be moved from the battle area or under a card to another area, lose 4 memory. This means whether he gets bounced back to hand, put to the bottom of the deck, destroyed, sent to the breeding area, thrown out a window, no matter how it happens, when this card is taken out of the battle area, you will lose 4 memory. So, yeah, he costs 6, but eventually you're going to pay that other 4, which makes this effectively a 10-cost Digimon. He's also able to Digivolve on top of level 5s with Greymon in his name for a cost of 3, which is kind of nice. I'm definitely going to be using this card in my deck. I'm very happy I got this one. As much as I like Metal Garurumon, I'm really happy I got the War Greymon of the 2. I don't normally comment on the booster packs before I open them, but I gotta say the versus Royal Knights pack has a very lovely color to it. I just like this regal golden color. I don't normally talk about the packs, but I like this one in particular. It's a very good looking pack. So, as always, I open from the first 2 of the bottom before heading back to the top of the box. So let us see if the bottom of the box has anything amazing to show us. Starting off with a Galmon, followed by, we got a Lilamon, Chumon, a Bauhuckmon, Peckmon, Night Chessmon, Kamemon, Doraemon, we just got that card earlier, Homer, Spencer, and for our rares we have Shine Greymon and Gift of Darkness. Alright, other bottom booster, let's see what we got with Agumon, followed by Agatsumon, Lyomon, Galmon, Pascomon, King Sukamon, Galgamon, Akahito Kurata, Chapmon, Odin's Breath. Oh, and for our rares, we have a very cool looking Dynasmon and King Chessmon. I'm looking forward to the Chessmon deck. I actually do want to build that one because I just think that and the Poop deck, those are two decks that I don't think are going to win like major tournaments, but they're going to be fun to play at your locals. And my locals are where I play, with cards like Jellymon, Platinum Sukamon, Reapamon, Lamortmon, Rise Greymon, Porcupamon, Dorumon, Kapuramon, Jumbo Gamemon, Gyramon, or Gyormon, however you want to pronounce it. And for our rares, we have Full Moon Meteor Impact and Biomon. My sister runs a Jessmon deck, so I hope I at least pull one super rare Jessmon so that she gets something for her deck. But I know I'm going to get enough Huckmons and Bow Huckmons and whatnot to help her out. Next up, we have Simbarangoramon, Galgamon, Dorugamon, Aquilamon, Falcomon, Bishop Chessmon, Knight Chessmon, Garamon, Mahiramon, Kapuramon, and for our rares we have Final Shining Burst. Oh, and our first super rare, Alphamon. Alphamon is a 12 cost to play, 12,000 power that digivolves for 4 off level 5 black. His on play, and when digivolving, we can place a Digimon card with the X antibody or Royal Knight trait from our trash as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card. All of our opponents play cost 10 or higher Digimon cannot attack until the end of their turn. Sorry, they can't attack a player specifically. During all turns, when an effect would remove this Digimon from the battle area, by returning one card with the X antibody or Royal Knight's trait from this Digimon's Digivolution cards to the bottom of the deck, prevent that removal. So, King Yggdrasil, the egg that is an SR in this booster, his effect is at the start of your turn, he will suck all the Royal Knights back under him so that, you're not flooding the board with powerful guys every turn. But Alphamon can prevent that, allowing him to actually swing, which is kind of nice. Otherwise, you'd have to wait until the secret rare Omnimon, who pulls everybody out for one final burst. Now we have Aquilamon, Liamon, Astamon, Kamemon, Dorugreymon, Gizmon 18, Simbarangoramon, Kudamon, Mach Galgamon, Shinrimon, or Shirinmon, and for our rare Shine Greymon, ooh, and Craniamon. Now this guy I've been looking forward to. My very first deck was a blocker black deck. It was all like about Craniamon and using his abilities, and anyways, he's 13 cost to play, 13,000 power, digivolves 5 off of a level 5, so he's a bit expensive. He's a blocker innately, but his on play when digivolving ability is until the end of your opponent's turn. This Digimon isn't affected by the effects of your opponent's Digimon. End of opponent's turn, choose one of your opponent's Digimon. Your opponent attacks with the chosen Digimon. So basically, when your opponent's done, they pass memory over to you and it's your turn, you can force them to attack, and if you force one of your opponent's Digimon to attack, you are free to block it. So Craniamon obviously, can't delete anything 13k or less, but anything 12k or less, he can force to attack, and then he blocks, and thus ending the opponent's turn on a very bad note for them. In our next pack, we have Gawapamon, followed by Galadimon, then Rise Greymon, Rook Chessmon, Porcupamon, Lalamon, Geo Greymon, Savior Huckmon. We have Miki and Megumi, Vulcan Crusher, and for our rares we have Leopardmon, ooh, and Magnamon. That is a really good art for just a rare. Like I almost mistook that for SR art. I I do appreciate how in recent boosters the Digimon art, if I don't know if you play the One Piece card game watching this video, but the One Piece card art, there are so many super rares that have art just as good as their alt arts, and then rare cards with art that's really cool. Not to say Guapamon here isn't cool, but you know, there's just some really good art in this game. We also have Huckmon here, King Sukamon, Mikemon, Tesla Jellymon, Proto Gizmon, Rook Chessmon, Salamon, Homer, Prince Mamemon, and for our rares we get Pawn Chessmon, oh, and Leopardmon Leopard Mode. So he's a 12 cost to play, 4 to Digivolve, 12,000 power, or Digivolves 1 from Leopardmon. When Digivolving, you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon, and then until the end of your opponent's turn, one of your opponent's Digimon doesn't unsuspend. When attacking, you can suspend one of your other Digimon to unsuspend this Digimon, and that is not a once per turn ability. And then at the end of your turn, you can trash the top card of this Digimon and unsuspend all of your Digimon. So feel free to attack even with your weaker Digimon, because they will be safe at the end of your turn when he restands them all. However, he'll go back to being regular Leopardmon, so you might want to consider other things around him, or whether or not you have a Leopard mode in hand to change back into. However, you won't be worrying about that if you are running a poop deck, because you shouldn't be running green. But the poop deck contains King Sukamon, not Jellymon though, or Lemortmon. We got Dorumon here, Proto Gizamon, Huckmon, Sharujinmon, I hope I pronounced that right, Mach Galgamon, Kudamon, Pinamon, and for our rares we have Full Moon Meteor Impact and Belphamon Sleep Mode. Let me tell you, Belphamon's Rage Mode was a terror in the pre-release. It's actually how my brother managed to pull a lot of good wins with his Rage Mode, because there was just nothing to stop it. Loader Leomon. Oh, Loader Leomon introduces the new barrier mechanic, which I think is really cool. So when this Digimon would be deleted in battle, by trashing the top card of your security stack, you prevent the deletion. I think that's a really cool new mechanic. It's got a lot of take back for what it allows you to do, but being able to keep a level 5 and have it as an inherited for your level 6s, that's really hard to pass up. We got Astamon here, Platinum Sukamon, Sunflowmon, Gizmon 18, Reapamon, Tesla Jellymon, Queen Chessmon, Jumbo Gamemon, Salamon, and for our rares we got Gankumon and another Pawn Chessmon. Nice. I believe I am 2 Pawn Chessmons away from a full playset now. We also have Bao Huckmon, Chumon, Shaojinmon, Crowmon, Sunflowmon, Night Chessmon, Peckmon, Karada, Chapmon, got Odin's Breath, and for our rares we have Dynasmon and Yoshino Fujieda. In our next pack we have Mikemon, Dorugreymon, Crowmon, Liamon, Gatsumon, Fascomon, Gaomon, Gizmon XT, Chirinmon, Agarudamon, and for our rares, Ulforce Vidramon and Keenan Crier. Then we have Gaomon, followed by Liomon, Agumon, Gatsumon again, another Fascomon, Angoramon, Shaojinmon, Mihiramon, Savior Huckmon, Richard, and for our rares, ooh, we got a Marcus, that's good, and Bancho Leomon. Another Leomon who is destined to die, especially since that one has blocker, so can't even avoid it even if you wanted to. Next up we have Lemortmon, Geogreymon, Porcupamon, Platinum Sukamon, Liamon, Dorugreymon, Lilamon, Gizmon XT, Waltz End, Chiaromon, And for our rares, Lord Nightmon and Final Shining Burst. There's a lot of good cards in this pack. This pack in particular is kind of fighting me, but hopefully we'll pull out that Rosemon Burst Mode. I'm also hoping for Shine Greymon Burst Mode. So we'll see if they're behind this Angoramon, Lylemon, Agumon, Jellymon, Astamon, Dorugreymon, Mikemon or Mikemon, Waltz End, Thethismon, Christie, and for our rares we got Yoshi again, and Mirage Galgamon Burst Mode. And I believe this is the alternate art too. 15 cost to play, 15,000 power, Digivolves for 5 off of a blue level 6. However, he also has the ability of Burst Digivolving. It costs 0 to Burst Digivolve off of Mirage Galgamon specifically, by returning 1 Thomas Norstein to hand. At the end of the Burst Digivolution turn, you trash this Digimon's top card, turning it back into Mirage Galgamon, hence being a Burst evolution. When Digivolving, return one of your opponent's Digimon to the hand. Then, gain 1 memory for every 4 cards in your opponent's hand. So if you Burst Digivolve, you'll actually gain memory from the Digivolution. When attacking, if your opponent has 9 or more cards in hand, by choosing cards in your opponent's hand without looking, and returning them to the bottom of the deck so that 8 remain, unsuspend this Digimon. So when attacking, you can force your opponent's hand down to 8 cards and be able to swing again. It's a very strong card. Burst Digivolving is a very powerful mechanic, especially in the Shine Greymon deck, because it's so easy to get Marcus back on board. However, Night Chessmon is not a Burst Digimon, so we'll just keep talking about Digimon cards. We got Kamemon next, Simbarangoramon, Peckmon, Chumon, Loader Leomon, Rook Chessmon, Dorimon, Little Budmon, a King Edamon for my poop deck, and for our rares, another King Chessmon, and Thomas. There we go, we were just talking about him. Well, that's helpful. So I at least have one if I want to give the Mirage Galgamon deck a try. I'm also considering going yellow because I really do like this Loader Leomon and the barrier mechanic in general. As well as Aquilamon. We got Kamemon, Gladimon, Porcupamon, Bauhuckmon, Guapamon, Pinamon, Miki and Megumi, Garudamon, and for our rares, another Marcus. Oh, and the secret rare has revealed itself to me. This is Gallantmon. 13 cost to play, 13,000 power, Digivolves 5 off of a level 5 red. When you would play this card from hand, if you have no Digimon, so you have to have 0 Digimon on the board, you reduce the play cost by 2 for every 5 total cards in both players' trash. That means if you have 5 and your opponent has 5, you reduce the cost by 4. This Digimon has Rush, which is really nice, so you can attack the turn you play him. His on play, when Digivolving, and when attacking ability, so this is a triple threat, deletes one of your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less. If no opponent's Digimon was deleted by this effect, delete one of their Digimon with 13,000 or more DP. So it's a bit of a weird window, I understand, but if your opponent has a Digimon between 7 and 12,000 DP, they're safe. However, if they have no Digimon 6,000 or less, and they have some giant Digimon like Death Exmon, this is the perfect counter to it. I don't know, I feel like the card is fair, just because of that weird, obscure window, because it's strong enough that it gets rid of, like, any level 4 or lower Digimon, and it gets rid of pretty much every level 6 or higher Digimon, but it allows your opponent to keep a level 5 on the board, because most level 5s don't meet that number requirement. It's great in Gallantmon decks in general, it's great in the Royal Knight deck. I'm just really glad I got one, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be one of the harder to get your hands on cards, considering both secret rares are very much needed for the new Royal Knight strategy. Royal Knights such as Bauhuckmon, a Royal Knight in training. Then we got Mikemon, Falcomon, Dorugamon, Tesla Jellymon, Huckmon, Bishop Chessmon, Vulcan Crusher, Thesismon, Christy Damon. Oh, and for our rares, we got a Rosemon and a Biomon. Very nice. Very nice. I was kind of hoping for a few more Rosemons. We are almost down to the last quarter of the booster box, but I still haven't seen that Verse mode, either of the ones I'm looking for. Got the one I wasn't, ironically. We got Dorumon here, then Lalamon, Falcomon, Chumon, Shojinmon, Geogreymon, Lilamon, oh, Omekemon, Spencer Damon, another Queen Chessmon, and for our rares, the other Pawn Chessmon, oh, and Mirage Galgamon. Just the regular one, not the alt-art. That's pretty cool. Or I guess I should say, not the burst mode, just the regular Mirage Galgamon. We also have a regular King Sukamon, as well as Guapamon, Sunflomon, Crowmon, Aquilamon, Gizmon, Dorumon, Chiaromon, Chapamon, King Edamon, and for our rares we have the Royal Knights of the Purge, oh, and Ravemon's Burst Mode. Okay, so we've gotten 2 of the 4 burst modes, and they were neither of the 2 I was looking for. This 15 cost to play, 15,000 power, Digivolves 5 off of a level 6 purple, also has the Burst Digivolution mechanic. He can Digivolve for 0 off Ravemon by returning a Keenan Crier to hand. At the end of the Burst Digivolution turn, trash this Digimon's top card. When Digivolving, you can search your opponent's hand. That means you get to see all of their cards. And you can trash 1 card among it. Then, if they have 7 or fewer cards in hand, they add the top card of their security stack to the hand. When attacking, by returning 1 Digimon card from your opponent's trash to the bottom of the deck, delete all of your opponent's Digimon with the same name as that card. It is a very interesting mechanic, especially since, for the most part, your opponent will probably be very consistent with the type of Digimon they're running. For example, if you returned a Guilmon Digimon card to your opponent's trash to the bottom of their deck, you could delete all of the Guilmons they have on the board. This is a very devastating card against the unlikely matchup against Eosmon. What's important to keep in mind about this card is the fact that you are able to look at your opponent's entire hand. So, if you look at your opponent's hand, make sure that even though you're just trashing 1 important card, to keep in mind what other cards you see in the hand while you're there. Furthermore, keep in mind that there will be 1 secret card you don't know if you're able to add their security card to your hand, because, you know, it'll be a card that neither of you knew about until after you used this ability. So that's a pretty powerful card. I'm not particularly interested in the Ravemon strategy as a whole, but I guess considering I pulled one, I guess the cards are asking me to at least give it a try. Personally, I'm still just going to try the Bishop series with Bishop Chessmon, Gizmon AT, Galgamon, Rook Chessmon, Peckmon, oh, almost missed out on King Sukamon, Lamortmon, Kapurimon, a Jumbo Gamemon, Gyaromon, and for our rares we have Full Moon Meteor Impact, ooh, and a super rare egg, King Drazil 7D6. So I actually pulled one of these in the pre-release, which was really nice, but it is the first Digimon to have a mechanic in the breeding area. Well, I guess it's not a Digimon card, it's a Digi-Egg card. But during your turn, all of your Digimon can't Digivolve. So, this is the first egg that affects the actual game board, instead of, you know, being safe in the breeding area by itself. It has a breeding mechanic, your turn, once per turn. When a Royal Knight trait Digimon would be played, you may reduce the play cost by 4. Further reduce it by 1 for each of this Digimon's Digivolution cards. So, even on turn 1, you could throw out a 14 cost Royal Knight Digimon for 10. Now granted, you'd start your opponent with 10 memory, but I don't know, I feel like that's a fair enough trade considering the amount of power you're getting right off the gun. Its other mechanic is breeding, start of your main phase. Reveal the top card of your Digi-Egg deck. Then, place that card and all of your Royal Knight traits Digimon as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution cards. So, if you're playing a Royal Knight every single turn, you'll be able to reduce the cost by an additional 2 every single time you do this, for, one until you run out of eggs, of course. It also has an inherited ability that activates in the breeding area. When an option card with the Royal Knight trait is played in the battle area, gain 1 memory. So for every King Drazil egg you have underneath, the Royal Knights of the Purge, which is a Royal Knight trait option card, is going to have its cost lowered, which will allow you to draw a card, and then, delay, and then play out a guy fast with Rush. So this deck is a ticking time bomb, leading up to Omnimon, the other secret rare in this booster, who will throw all of your Royal Knights under King Drasil at your opponent. I want to give this deck a try. I'm hoping I will pull enough cards to do so, but I have 2 eggs, so we are already halfway there, at least egg-wise. I don't know if you need exactly 4 Omnimons and 4 Gallantmons, so I wouldn't go for that if you don't have the budget for it. But if you do, let me know how it goes in the comments, because I'm very curious. We also have in this pack Galgamon, followed by Rise Greymon, Lalamon, Astamon, Knight Chessmon, Gladimon, Proto Gizmon, Richard Sampson, Kurata, a Prince Mamemon, and for our rares, the Gift of Darkness, and Kentarosmon. Another super rare, 13 cost to play, 13,000 power, Digivolves 5 off of a level 5, so a pretty expensive Digivolution cost if I'm being honest. His on-play and when Digivolving is if there are 6 or fewer total cards in both player security stack, gain 3 memory, and reveal 1 card in your hand. If that card is yellow, place it on top of your security stack face down. If not, return it to your hand. When attacking, once per turn, by trashing the top card of your security stack, unsuspend this Digimon, and one of your opponents gets minus 7,000 DP for the turn. That is a very strong attack, if I'm being honest. But what's interesting is the reveal 1 card in hand. So the fact is you have to do it. So if you're not running a pure yellow deck, or if you're running like a Royal Knights deck, you might be running the risk of having to show your opponent something and not getting to put it on your security stack. In most scenarios, though, I wouldn't play out my Kentarosmon until I knew I had another Kentarosmon to put on top for another 13k defense. There's also some other great yellow security cards that allow you to make for, interesting plays, such as a very classic one that lets you just recover 1 flat out. And with that, we are down to our final 3 booster packs, so let's bring it on home with the bronze medal, starting with Platinum Sukamon, Sunflowmon, Liamon, Rise Greymon, Proto Gizmon, a Knight Chessmon, Tesla Jellymon, Kudamon, Mach Galgamon, Shirenmon, and for our rares we got Jesmon and Examon. That was pretty good. We got 2 Royal Knights in a single booster, plus my sister will be happy to know I pulled a Jesmon for her. In our next silver medal pack, we have Reapamon, followed by Jellymon, Lylemon, Gatsumon, Fascomon, Agumon, Angoramon, Budmon, Omakemon, Odin's Breath, and for our rares, Royal Knights of the Purge and Ravemon. A regular Ravemon, not the Ravemon Burst Mode. And finally, our gold medal pack. Oh, I'm really hoping this is either Rosemon Burst Mode or Shine Greymon Burst Mode. But either way, let's bring it on home, starting with Knight Chessmon, Dorugamon, Crowmon, Simba-Angoramon, Reapamon, Huckmon, Angoramon, Salamon, Homer, Prince Mamemon, and for our rares we have Pawn Chessmon and Rosemon Burst Mode. Look at that! That's how we're gonna end this, huh? Alright, she's a 15 to play, 15,000 power, Digivolves 5 off of a level 6. She also has the Burst Digivolve mechanic. Digivolve 0 off of a Rosemon. By returning one Yoshino to your hand, at the end of the Burst Digivolution turn, though, you trash the Digimon's top card. When Digivolving, you suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and one of their Tamers. Until the end of your opponent's turn, all of their Digimon and Tamers don't unsuspend. Now, mind you, it says until the end of your opponent's turn, and then they don't unsuspend. It's not they don't unsuspend during the unsuspend phase. It's not they don't unsuspend without using an ability. It is just one and done. So if they swing, if they use an ability, they are not restanding. This is devastating against strategies that do that, such as green and blue themselves. I'm very interested to see how this deck pulls off, the one my brother's building. Finally, though, she does have a when attacking. Trash the top card of your opponent's security stack for every 2 of your opponent's suspended Digimon and or Tamers. So, if you time this right, and your opponent has at least 1 Digimon and 1 Tamer, you can destroy 2 security by swinging with Burst Mode and then trashing a security card as you're going. If your opponent is playing a super wide board, however, you could effectively devastate the rest of their security before Rosemon even hits, allowing her to swing for game. Well, that's good. I mean, I'm a little bummed I didn't get my Shine Greymon, but I'm happy that I was able to get the card my brother needed for his deck. So let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 super rare cards, as well as 1 alternate art and 1 secret rare. A very good haul for a deck, for a box, if I may say so myself, considering, you know, usually the average is 6 to 7, 6 to 8, so getting 7 is really nice. I'm happy I got a lot of Burst Mode Digimon, and I'm looking forward to seeing how the Royal Knight deck affects all the other decks around it, considering it is not a fast deck, but it is an extremely powerful one. Regardless of what I pulled, though, I would love to hear in the comments your thoughts. Did I pull a Digimon you want? Are you also sad to see that I didn't pull Shine Greymon? Any way you look at it, I do want to hear what other people think about this upcoming booster. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you in the next video. This is the Hero of Julios, Xing out.